Why build a thick-walled vessel from one massive forged plate when you could wrap dozens of thin layers around a core shell instead? Part ULW is the answer, and it's not just a manufacturing preference. Welcome back to ASME Section 8 Division 1 in 5 minutes. Season 3, Episode 7, Layered Vessel Construction. A layered vessel has a shell or heads made of two or more separate layers, wrapped or formed around a core. Only the innermost layer, the inner shell or inner head, is the actual pressure-tight membrane. Everything outside it can be cylinders rolled from plate, forgings, coiled material, or even helically wound interlocking strips, though plain wire winding isn't allowed. Some layers, called overwraps, exist purely to reinforce a local opening or transition to a thicker section, and dummy layers are just spacers that don't count toward required thickness at all. Why build this way instead of one thick plate? Very thick forgings and plates carry real risk, internal porosity, material segregation, quality that's hard to verify at the center of a massive section. Building up thickness from many thinner, individually verified layers avoids that risk entirely, and often costs less than sourcing and forming one enormous single plate for very high pressure, very thick-walled vessels. 2 direct connections to this series. 5, 8, and 9% nickel steel, Part ULT, Season 2, Episode 8, is only permitted as inner shell or inner head material here. The expensive cryogenic rated alloy only needs to touch the cold fluid. The outer structural layers can be ordinary carbon steel. And lethal service requirements from Episode 4 apply only to the inner shell and inner head, too, because that's the only layer the lethal substance ever actually contacts. A third connection, the manufacturer's quality control system, from Season 2's finale, has to specifically document the construction procedure for layered vessels, the sequence layers get applied in, and how the gaps between them get measured. Layer gaps aren't cosmetic, an unmeasured or excessive gap between layers changes how the whole assembly actually behaves under load. And here's the sharpest connection. For external pressure and vacuum design under UG 28, Season 2, Episode 2, only the inner shell or inner head thickness counts. Not the total layered thickness, no matter how many layers surround it. Buckling is a stability failure, not a simple stress problem, and the code isn't willing to assume outer layers reliably contribute to that stability unless they're proven to. All that material, and for vacuum service, only the innermost layer gets the credit. Quick recap, layered vessels build thickness from multiple layers around a pressure-tight inner shell, avoiding the quality risks of massive single forgings. Nickel steel and lethal service requirements apply only to that inner layer. The QC system has to document layer application and gap measurement. And for external pressure design, only the inner shell counts, full stop. That's Season 3, Episode 7. Full construction details are linked below on WeldFab World. Subscribe. Episode 8 covers heat exchanger tube sheet design.